Hi everyone, in today's video I'm going to show you how to put together my star advent calendar. This is a cutting file that's available in the cutting file shop over on my Apple Lover 53 website. This wasn't my original idea. I saw it on the internet, but it was all done by hand and it was with bigger boxes. So I decided to create my own ScanNCut cutting file in Canvas Workspace. I made my own size boxes and created the cutting file for all the elements. The only thing you're not going to get in the cutting file are the circles. The blue mirror card here is a 1-inch circle, and these little circles here are made in Canva, and I just put a blue edge around them, printed them out, and then I scanned that through my ScanNCut, which you'll see in this video, and got the ScanNCut to cut them out for me. And it's open, it fastens with a magnet, then it opens up and you've got 12 little boxes that you can put a treat in. And this is going to be a little advent calendar for my little dog Eddie for Christmas. So it's only 12 days. If you wanted to do 24, you could make 2 of them and have 2 side by side, or you could put a ribbon on them and hang them. But I'm just going to put a couple of little treats in each of these, and I'm going to start giving him, opening 1 box a day for him from the middle of December up to Christmas Eve. So if you want to know how I put it all together, keep watching. Okay, so these are all the elements that you get in the cut file. I've already put 7 of the triangle boxes together, and they've got the paper stuck on both sides and they're all ready. But I just want to show you how to do the last one, and then this is the band that's going to join it all together. So we'll start with this. You can see it's got score lines. Just fold on the lines that I've put in the cutting file for you and burnish them. And then you've got this little tab. This is going to have glue on it, and you are going to attach the other piece to it to make one long strip. So I'm going to do that first, and that can be set in while I'm showing you how to put the other box together. So just a little bit of glue. Use something nice and strong. I would use something like a liquid glue, or if you're using, this is Tombow from Stampin' Up, which I sell in my shop. Everything will be linked under the video and in the accompanying blog post here on my website. So use a liquid glue, or you could use Seal Plus, or you could use tear and tape. So that's what you've got now. That's one long strip. So I'm just going to pull that on one side. So for the box, I've already stuck the pattern paper on the 2 sections just to save some time. And then again, you want to fold on all the fold lines and burnish well with a bone folder. Okay, so that's what you've got now. So the way that this is going to stick together is the 2 tabs on the left and the right next to the one with the thumb hole in, you're going to put adhesive on, not on the other 2 on the plain side. Oh, and I forgot to burnish that tab there, so just do that. Okay, so this is how it's looking. So not the end with the closure tab, the end with the thumb notch. You're going to put glue on this 1/4 inch section and this 1/4 inch section only. Wet glue is probably easier because it gives you a little bit of time to wiggle it into place. And the way I did mine, I folded them all first on the score lines, and then I glued them, put all the papers on and glued them. So I did them in like a production line. So I'm just going to fold that in, bring that round. You want to go up to the dash fold line but not over it. And then the same with this one, tuck it in. Wiggle it into place, and then these are your flaps. So you can get something small in here, something like the little mini celebrations. You might get like the little roses, mine's going to be for my dog Eddie, so this is going to have dog treats in it, and I'm only making 12, so it's going to be like a little 12-day advent calendar for him. So I'm going to start it in the middle of December and take him up to Christmas Eve, and then that pops in there like so. So now you've got 8. So this is where this comes in now. So turn it over so that the join is on the inside, and then I'm going to start sticking these boxes onto these sections, and they should fit exactly. One of them might be slightly shorter. Let me just measure. Yeah, so when you put them together, have the glue tab on the third one from the left. This one is just a fraction under 2 inches. These are all 2 inches. Okay, and then the way I'm going to do mine, I'm going to do them so that they open like so. So I'm going to have the thumb notch on the right hand side. So I'm going to put glue on the bottom. And then I'm just going to start sticking these in place. Now yours won't keep, or shouldn't keep, popping open. I made the tab a little bit too small on some of them, but I've modified the cutting file so that the tab is deeper, so it sits in better. Okay, so I'm just going to point them all this way with the thumb notch on the right hand side. Put some glue on the bottom and line this up. Now this wasn't my idea. I saw this, I think it's Vicky from Crafty Heaven did this, but she did a different size, and she did it all manually, and you know, cut it and scored it all manually. So I decided to make my own size and make it into a ScanNCut cutting file. So although the idea is not mine, the measurements and everything for this are all mine. So you want to line them all up like this, all going in the same way. I'm just going to put my glue on here because I need 12 in total, and I've only got 8, so I need to do some more. But this is how it's going to work. So it's going to fold up like so, and then this is going to come over the top, and you're going to stick another 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that will make your star. Okay, so once you've got the 6 stuck down, I'm going to fasten this with a magnet. You could use Velcro, it's entirely up to you. You could wrap ribbon around it before you stick these on and have the ribbon coming out here, like have a bow or something. But the way I'm going to do mine, as I say, is with a magnet. So if you work from the left, so you've got this empty tab here. So on the bottom of this one, I'm going to stick a magnet, and I'm going to put mine on with double-sided tape. I'm just going to pop the magnet in the middle and put some tape over it to hold it down. In your cutting file, you've got this rectangle, so if you cut a couple of those, that will cover that magnet, and the other magnet's going to go on here. Then you can cut another one and put that over that magnet. Okay. So I'm just going to get another piece of double-sided tape, and I'm going to lay this on top, sticky side up, bring in my other magnet and just let it attract to the one that's already there. This isn't easy when you've got sticky stuff all over you. Bring this all in, wrap this around, position that over and burnish it down, so hopefully you'll pick up the tape and the magnet like so. So I'm just going to remove the double-sided tape from this. Just going to put my bone folder underneath it so it doesn't stick to my desk. Then I'm going to bring in some wet glue and I'm going to put this over the base and that magnet. Now you could cut these and put them, you know, on one side or either side of your little triangular boxes, but you've got to bear in mind that this one's got a thumb notch in it already, so if you put the rectangle on it you might end up covering up some of that thumb notch. So I'm just going to press all around on that double-sided tape over that magnet, and then I'm going to do the same. I'm going to peel the paper off, bring in my other little rectangle, apply some glue, and then give that a good burnish. And then when you start to wrap it all up, that'll lock together automatically because of that magnet. Now you're going to start sticking these boxes on the outside. Now this top layer, I did say to you earlier on that these are all 2 inches wide and one's a little bit smaller. So when you put this one on, so it kind of sits over that other triangle, which will mean it'll be just before that score line and it'll hang over here. So I would put glue on this rather than on your base, because your base is bigger than this, if that makes sense. I'm just going to put some glue on. Again, I'm going to have all the little tabs going to the right. So I'm going to line that one up now so it kind of sits above the triangle below it. Try and do it this way so you can see it. So I'm lining this up with this and then pressing down until it sticks. And then I'm going to work my way around now with these so that these will sit exactly on these spaces. So you can put the glue either on here or on the bottom of your box for this. It's just that top one that's got like the magnet closure. And then obviously leave this to dry because it is wet glue and you want it to all, you know, stick together. Can't find my magnet now. So there's my magnet. So it will stand and then it just all opens up like so. As I say, you could put pattern papers, you know, using that rectangle on here. It's entirely up to you. And then it'll all snap together with the magnet. Then I've cut some 1-inch circles from some blue mirror card, and I'm going to print some numbers from 1 to 12, and I'll probably do that in Canva, and I'm going to make them about 3/4 of an inch, something like that, because these are 1 inch, and I'm going to do those in white and print them, and I'm going to number these and stick these on all the fronts of the triangles. So when I've done all that, I'll come back and I'll show you. Okay, so I've created some numbers and some circles in Canva, and now I'm going to use the ScanNCut again to cut these out with a slight outline around this blue circle. So I'm going to load the mat into the machine. I'm going to do scan and direct cut because I want these circles cut out of the card. Now I'm not saving them or anything. I'm just going to temporarily save the memory into the machine for the actual scan. It's telling me to move my lever on my machine, which I'll do, and press start. That's going to scan a piece of card through the machine now. So I'm going to say OK. I'm going to drag in the handles just to isolate the numbers so that the machine isn't picking any of the cut lines up that's on my mat, because this is obviously a cutting mat, not a scanning mat. So it will pick up all the cut lines and things from previous projects. So that looks okay. So I'm going to say preview. I'm going to say OK. I'm going to come to the offset icon and I'm going to add a 0.04 offset around them. I'm going to say OK, select and cut and start. Okay, so that's finished. I'm going to unload the mat. I'm going to peel this away, and there are my 12 numbers now that I've created in Canva, and I printed them in blue with a blue outline, and then I've added a 0.04 border around the outside. So these are just ready to come off the mat now. And I'm going to stick these onto my 1-inch blue mirror card circles, and then they're going to go onto my boxes. And because I'm using mirror card, I'm going to use some 3D foam to stick these onto the mirror card. It'll just be a little bit quicker than trying to use wet glue that may slide around. Plus it will give them a little bit of dimension as well with them being raised up. So now I'm going to stick these on here, and I'm just going to stick them on randomly. And again, I'm going to pop them up, but this time I'm going to use bigger dimensionals. And then all I need to do is get some of Eddie's little treats and pop 1 or 2 in each of these little boxes. And as I say, this is just a 12-day advent calendar. You could make 2 if you wanted to make 24 days. But I think 12's enough. And then I can just give him 1 each day. From the middle of December. So I'm just going to take these off, just make sure that's the top. And that's it. So it'll all open up. You can get to the treats. Seal your little boxes back up, flip it over to get to your others, and then it all folds up and fastens with a magnet. And that's it. You can decorate the back as well if you want to. It will stand like so. You could put a ribbon on the back and hang it. It's entirely up to you. The overall finished size of this, I'll just tell you, so from tip to tip is 7 inches. And it's by about 6 wide. So that's it. I hope you like the project. Please give the video a thumbs up. If you want the cutting file, it's on my applelover53.co.uk website under the ScanNCut cutting file, under the shop tab, and then under the ScanNCut cutting file tab. And it'll probably be in holiday decoration or in the 3D home decor section, something like that. It might even be in both, because obviously it doesn't have to be used for an advent calendar. You could just use it for any occasion, but that's how I saw it being made originally. And as I say, it was made with bigger boxes, and I just decided to create my own size and my own cutting file for the ScanNCut. So I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.